All right, before we intro, we're gonna mind meld.
I don't know what that means.
So I'll explain the rest first. We'll start by I'm gonna count to 3, and we're gonna say a word, whatever word comes to your mind, just one word, in the count of 3.
Oh, great.
And I'll tell you how the rest goes after that. Are you ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Wet.
Cuck. Okay. So you said wet, and I said cuck.
Big wet cuck.
So okay, so here, the next time, what we're gonna do is on the count of 3, we're gonna try to say a word that we think relates those two words to each other. Wet and cuck.
Okay. Wait, is it one word or can it be 2 words?
It can be 2 words if you think it makes sense.
Okay.
Because the idea is we're doing something like based on what we know about each other, also what we think we might say that would relate those two terms.
Okay.
So you said wet, I said cuck. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Ass
Ben
pussy.
Shapiro.
So I said ass pussy, and you said Ben Shapiro.
A cuck ass pussy.
A wet Ben Shapiro. So okay, so you got Ben Shapiro.
Well, I can't say Ben Shapiro's wife.
I got ass pussy, which I think I know how to condense those, but I have to work with that and Ben Shapiro. Okay, so on the count of 3, we have a word here we gotta do. It might be a slang word that exists only in recent years, but okay, 1, 2, 3. Pussy.
Yeet.
The pussy and yeet.
Yeet.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. TikTok.
I didn't say it. I'm sorry.
Fuck, we fucked up the mind.
What are we doing?
This is what people do before improv game shows.
Oh, well, this isn't an improv show. It's a podcast.
And we just proved that.
Honeys,
we're home. Hey, welcome to Sinclarity, a Dinosaur's Tale. You're joining us for episode 36, a bonus episode. And I am one of your hosts, Ben Hand Up Me, and I'm here with another one of your hosts.
We're going to need another Timmy.
Fuck yeah. So you've been with us for two fucking seasons of the show Dinosaurs, which is what we do on this podcast. We review the show Dinosaurs.
Yeah, this is not a good place to start.
Starting with a bonus episode would be a weird choice in general.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like you just get into any show and you're like, yeah, I watched the blooper reel, and then I started watching the show.
I went all the way to the end of Toy Story 2 and watched the blooper reel. And then I
went back. That's all I do at Pixar movies is I show up, and Marvel movies I think does it. I just show up at the credits and just see what kind of fun stuff they came up with.
The post-credit scene.
Yep.
I just really want to get ready for the next movie.
I think it's funny because there are like the second a movie ends, I get up, like I'm ready, I'm out. I might leave when it starts to like simmer down, like you think it's about to end. Like when Tom Cruise wakes up at the end of Vanilla Sky, I just leave real quick so I know it's over.
I think Vanilla Sky is your new Harry Potter. Like you're gonna keep,
and I've never seen it.
You're gonna keep making Vanilla Sky jokes.
I keep thinking about it just because when I was in middle school, I just can't get it out of my head. My teacher saying, I have a master's degree and I didn't understand it. And then like this guy dated, it was his favorite movie. And then his favorite bands were Sigur Rós and Coldplay. And I feel like they're both on that soundtrack. And that's probably why they were his favorite bands.
That sounds like the most boring person ever to date.
You're not wrong. He did steal my DS. That's pretty boring. He gave me the DS as a birthday present and then stole it.
A boring thief.
A boring thief. It's my new art film. A boring thief. It's like a bad translation from some cool title it had in France.
Yeah, like that's Coldplay, I guess. Coldplay's like first 2 albums are pretty good, but their music is just like sleepy music. And Sigur Rós is even worse because It's just instruments.
It just sounds like, I mean, they have vocals, but the vocal is like, well, I don't know their language, so I don't understand it to begin with.
Icelandic?
I don't know. I
They're
don't
from
know.
They're from Iceland.
I just know they're gay. Like that's like the big thing about them is they're gay.
The whole band.
Well, the singer, which is the whole band. Come on.
I mean, if they formed in 2021, then yes, they would all be gay. But since they're like an older band,
They would all be.
It's very unlikely.
Well, it's unlikely that we know they're gay if they're an older band. Is what you mean? It doesn't change anything. I mean, like generally the same amount of people are pretty gay, but it's just about like openness. It's
Iceland's a weird place.
I hear it's melting.
Well, it's very green, unlike Greenland.
We're the first people to make observations about those countries' names being wrong.
All I know is that Bjork is also from Iceland and she sucks. So.
Bjork, the singer so nice they named her twice. The big Snapple.
Bjork.
Bjork's coming today.
You know the Real Big Fish cover?
Did they cover that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
On Cheer Up, that album.
I didn't. Well, you know, the only thing I like about Cheer Up is Drunk Again, and then the bonus song Average Man. So I don't even know the rest of that record.
It's not that bad.
I'm sure it's not. I mean, like, Turn the Radio Off isn't that bad either. That's a good record. I can't get into it anymore. I feel like Real Big Fish really, something about Aaron Barrett just really annoys me.
He's like the oldest teenager.
Yeah, he seems like he'd just be like so like he'd be at a party like as like the guy with like elbow patches on his jacket talking about how God doesn't exist or like he doesn't get paid enough, but he's like the best at what he does or something.
No, not at all. Really? You think that about him?
Yeah,
you think higher of him than I do.
That's negative to me. You want to run into that guy at a party?
I'm not saying it's negative. I'm just saying like I don't see him like that at all.
You think he's more just like an overly drunk person at a party who's trying to get everybody to play cornhole and nobody wants to?
Yeah, he just seems like a douche, but not an intellectual douche.
Well, I don't think being atheist is intellectual by nature. If he was intellectual, well, yeah, because he was told that he's 50 now and he has to start dressing nice.
No, he has nothing but Hawaiian shirts. That's all he owns.
There's no way I guess it would be funny like he opens his closet like Doug Funny and it's just all Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, it's not an exaggeration. I'm sure it's true.
I'm gonna look up Aaron Barrett 2021. Let's see what this guy looks like now.
He probably has the same coiffed haircut, but it's gray.
He's also not popular enough for that to give me good results. They're all about a baseball player named Aaron Barrett.
Well, there you go.
He plays baseball now. He's like Michael Jordan.
Basketball. He plays basketball.
That's true. Okay. I found a picture of him. Okay, he looks like the guy who would be at a family party, but he's not actually in your family. He's like your uncle's friend who doesn't have a family to go to. And he has like 8 jokes that he tells on repeat if you like talk to him. And he's probably standing near the grill, but not actually grilling. He's just like there to be like, you should flip that. I'm looking at him right now.
And he secretly puts the veggie patties on after the meat patties because he thinks it's funny.
He's like, it's gonna have a little meat juice anyway.
Yeah, bacon, bro.
They ordered a vegan patty and I gave them a regular hamburger and they didn't notice. For one, when people sell those stories, that's never happened where somebody didn't notice. Like you're not gonna bite into a hamburger and be like, "Yep, that's a vegan patty." People tell that story with like decaf all the time. Like they order decaf and I gave them regular coffee. I'm like, cool. Hope they don't die. Like maybe they have a reason they can't have like caffeine. Like,
yeah, like they're
so shitty.
Like their blood pressure or like their heart rate. Or
yeah,
like
it's the same thing. Like they'll be like they ordered like soy milk and I gave them regular milk. I'm like, well, you're an evil piece of shit. Like you don't know somebody's situation, and even if you don't know their situation, like they ask you for this thing because that's their thing. Like why fuck with them for no reason? because you think like meat is superior. That's gross. Or caffeine. The death before decaf stuff annoys me too.
I mean, if you just like the taste of bitter water, then yeah, sure.
I mean, like, I think that is what it is, or it's like people who can't have caffeine anymore. It's probably a psychosomatic reaction they're trying to elicit from it. Like, I can't have caffeine, but this will remind me of what it was like.
Like alcoholic, like non-alcoholic beer.
Exactly. I remember when my dad had to drink those for a bit because he wasn't supposed to drink beer, and then like he just switched to like less alcohol in the beer. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore.
It's like, why would you willingly just drink piss to drink it?
I mean, no kink shaming. No tea, no shade, no.
Well, you should at least be getting paid for that, you know.
It's true. Make that money. Make that piss money, baby.
Anyway, so what are we talking about today?
The show Dinosaurs. So anyway, so we've been doing this podcast. We've been recording it for over a year now. I don't think we started releasing it until like September, but or August, something like that.
But it was we definitely did the first 5 episodes by before like now. around this time.
Yeah, before I went up to. Well, did we finish the 5th one after I came back from Kentucky? I feel like.
I have no idea.
So. I think we did. I think we got most of them done, and then I went to Kentucky for a couple months, and then I came back and we got the other 2 done, or something like that. And
that
then
makes sense.
And then I think from there we went straight into recording with like V for the episode of the whatever season 2.
Yeah, and then it feels like season 2 took forever.
Well, it's like 24 fucking episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is long. Who all did we have as guests this season? We had V, we had Brianna twice.
We had Woody.
We had the Stove.
We had Stove. We had Mike Brody.
We had Marty and Sarah.
Matthew from Botchamania.
We had Adel Rafai. We had Aaron Keefe.
And we had Justin Schaefer. It's a lot of people. Is that all the guests?
Zach.
We had Zach.
Yeah, that doesn't count. He's part of it. And Chris.
Chris, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had Chris, and we also had the Beretta brothers.
Yeah, we had Tim Doyle.
Yeah, those were like interview episodes, but
and we had Aurelia River and like. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of guests this season.
and Issa.
And Issa, Jesus, that doesn't count either. She's part of Singularity. So it's star-studded season so far. I mean,
yeah.
It's over.
Who else did we have? Anyone else? I feel bad if we forget.
Do you feel like we're forgetting someone?
I can't tell.
Just to clarify, for any of the ones that we waited to say to last, we didn't forget them yet. We were just building up to it. Like right now, we've been building up to saying, and we also had TC and Siege from Bro Meets World.
There we go.
Like that was we just wanted to like build that one up because it was great. Also, I'm now scrolling and making sure I remember everyone.
I know. I'm like going through like my Apple, like going to our page to see. We got Chris and Zach. We got Aurelia. We got TC and Siege.
Mm-hmm.
We got Bill and Gene.
Are not my lover. He's just a podcast
Math
of brothers.
Justin, Tim, Doyle.
We did get them all by now, by the way.
Jesus. Yeah, you're right. Issa, Marty, Aaron, Adel, Stove. Yep. Yeah.
Woody, Brianna, V, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we had Tim and Ben. We had each other.
At least we have that.
Yeah, so that was our star-studded season 2. For season 3, I think we've talked about the big names before. We're gonna get Ben Shapiro, we're gonna get Adam Carolla, Joe Rogan.
They're gonna be
it's
gonna be a round table. We're gonna have them all on at once. They're all gonna talk over each other in a cacophony of awful. Like it's just gonna be like,
and then we turn off the oxygen flow to the room and we leave. Is that legal to say? I don't know how. That's not a real threat. Anyway,
Well, anyway, we did a lot of guests, a lot of episodes, and
a lot of laughs and a lot of memories.
a lot of a lot of laughs. And I was it last week's episode? What episode was it where you like killed me? You said something so funny, and I was laughing so hard. I don't know if it was.
Every episode.
There was something. No. Oh no, I'm thinking of the D&D game I played. That's what I'm thinking of.
You're like, there's no way it was Singularity. Wait, what happened in your D&D game? Let's juice that on here.
We had to it's kind of weird out of context, but there was a joke about an exorcist, but we referred to him as the sexorcist, and I was dying. Like I was laughing so hard because it was so funny talking to the sexorcist.
So isn't your D&D game like you have to fight like new metal guys, or like what exactly happens?
Right now we're in a tournament and we're fighting the gods of metal. So in that one we had to fight
Baby Metal from Japan.
No.
Avril Lavigne.
These are all like horrible white men.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh no, he's next.
He's next.
This
Watch out,
Ozzy. This was the black metal one. So we fought someone in a black metal band.
Ice-T.
Which is the worst. No.
Body count
rules. Body count rules.
Body count does roll. This is the #1 podcast for body count. So that's our first question. What's your body count, Tim? I hate that. I hate that phrase for talking about that. He's holding up 500 fingers.
And I'm Gene Simmons, who was also in that game that we did. Gene Simmons made a cameo.
It's crazy that y'all spend so much money to get the actual musicians to show up.
It's pretty crazy. We had Rob Zombie twice in two different games. We called him Bob Zombie, though. We changed the names to protect the innocent.
It's like on Tim and Eric, yeah, like John Deep. So Johnny Depp. Whoopsie Goldberg.
Nude Tane.
So it wasn't Sinclarity. That's good, because everyone listening was probably just like, I don't remember Ben saying anything funny last episode.
I was thinking of something different. The episode with Marty and Sarah was pretty funny, though, I gotta say.
Yeah, I've listened to that one a few times, and there's quite a few like really good moments in that one.
And Chris and Zach was also a lot of fun, even when I wasn't in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in the end, you still missed a lot of that because we talked a lot while you were on.
I know, my internet
Zach cut it down a good amount. We were worried you weren't going to make it back, and we were trying to figure out like when we'd meet up to finish the episode, and we were like, we're almost at the end, and we were so close.
But I didn't believe you. I was like, no way, are we almost done? There's still so much shit to do.
You didn't know what was going on. You were out of it. You were COVID shot out of it.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I got my second shot and I feel fine.
That's awesome. I got my second shot. Fine. I felt a little sick for like a day or two, and I feel great now.
You know what I did? You know what I think I did was the day before I drank a lot of water. Mm-hmm. The day I got the shot at work, even I drank so much water. Like I had to pee so much at work. And then
just like on the podcast.
And then I got home and I drank more water and took ibuprofen. And then I was worried about yesterday and I was fine. I woke up fine. And today I just feel from time to time I'll get a little dizzy, but it's nothing like serious.
Well, that's just you're drunk off the water. That's what that is.
That's too much water.
This is the first like we're you just validated or verified all the memes for the past year or so about making sure your friends are hydrated. And you're like, damn it actually works.
I've been doing it since like the beginning of the year, just drinking a lot, and it goes right through me. So yeah, I pee a lot. I went today to get that bike pump, and then I walked into the Dick's Sporting Goods and I already had to pee, and I'm like, oh fuck, is there a bathroom in here? And I didn't want to ask.
There better be with a name like Dick's.
There's only urinals.
It's only urinals. Onlyurinals.com.
And I was like, I couldn't find one on my own, and I didn't want to ask anyone, so I didn't.
Nobody wants to ask anybody.
So I got the bike pump, and I had the patience for him to show me how to do it, which I was like, cool. I went and looked at new shoes. I didn't buy any new shoes, but I looked at new like running shoes. I don't run, but they're nice to wear at work.
I like running shoes because you just hold B and you go much faster. That's my Pokemon joke.
Okay. You know, we're getting way off my story, but I would use those more than the actual bicycle in the game. Would you?
Yeah, I never used the bike once the running shoes were invented because it was just like it was so quick to just do it.
Yeah.
There was never, there's no place in the game that's far enough apart that the running shoes aren't good enough.
Exactly. And plus, if you're on the bicycle and you're in tall grass, your encounters go way up.
Yeah, and you can't like just run right into like certain buildings and stuff. Like it's just you'd overshoot it when trying to do stuff too. Like the running shoes, especially because I usually play on an emulator where I have the speed on as well. Then the bike is like you can't see it.
Yeah. But anyway, so I get the
back to your other sidetrack.
Yeah, I get the bike pump, and I still have to pee so bad. When I go through, I pay for it. And I wanted to ask the cashier, but I already had the merchandise in hand. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just go home. And so I pull out of the parking lot, and for some reason I'm in a different location than I thought I was. And I thought I had to get all the way over into the turning lane. And I realized I'm at the wrong major street. But then I realized when I started turning, I'm like, oh shit, there's a Wawa right there. I could just go stop there and pee. And so I did. I had to make
nice.
But it was bad.
I can't think of any time I've like locally while near my house gone to a gas station to pee.
That's only like, but like at Fest, all the gas stations close their bathrooms.
Yeah, and then you go to the Taco Bell where there's 2 inches of piss on the floor in the bathroom.
I always feel bad for that Taco Bell.
Well, we always would try to pee like in the alleys behind dumpsters, and then my friend Dan, the first fest that me and you hung out at, got arrested for peeing in the alley. He was peeing behind a dumpster, and a cop came up and saw him and like pulled him into like that little like jail inside that parking garage. And we were just like, he was like just left the car to go pee, and he was going to be right back. And then like it was hours before we found out what happened.
That's insane.
Yeah,
they'll find any excuse to arrest someone during Fest.
That's so wild. Like if you're behind a dumpster, you're not in public anymore, in my opinion. Like if somebody catches you peeing, that's on them. They went behind a dumpster where people do nefarious things. Like that's your choice you made.
You gotta get in the dumpster.
You gotta get in the dumpster and get in a pissing contest with the raccoons.
Yeah, that's private property, so it's not public. It's not public property.
It's not your. Yeah, that's true. Just like when you walk into a neighbor's house and just pee on the floor, it's private property. So it
is private. Like most companies like have their own dumpster. It's
no,
theirs.
I agree. I just don't think there's a bet that makes it legally better. Because it's not yours.
What are these gray areas? We need to get a lawyer on this.
I'm gonna make them yellow areas. Pee right on them.
Let's get a lawyer. Let's get a lawyer on this show.
So the drinking water thing, I also tried that. Like I like stepped on a rusty nail and I was like, I'll just drink water. And it worked. I didn't get Tetris.
Oh, you didn't get Tetris. I have Tetris. It's free on the Switch.
Oh shit. You know what? I do have Tetris. I forgot. I am actually getting a tetanus shot like next week. It's
Tetris 99. I've never played it. It looks fun. I'm more of a Dr. Mario person, so
I like there was a Mickey Mouse like Disney Tetris for Nintendo 64 that me and my sister Lauren used to play a lot.
The Pokemon Puzzle League is pretty good too.
Well, I like that one a lot. Yeah, I used to have that game.
Dr. Mario 64 though was badass.
That was a great game.
It's really hard and it's hard to find, but it's a really cool game.
That's like a really expensive one, unless you buy people make fake ones now that still work on eBay, but like it's not the original.
I found one at like a used game store.
That's crazy.
Because it was like a I want to say it was either a Blockbuster exclusive or a Toys R Us exclusive or something like that.
Oh, really?
I think it was.
That's
I think
so
that's what it
crazy.
was. Kind of like Conker's Bad Fur Day was a Blockbuster exclusive.
I didn't know that. That's crazy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That was obviously, we've already talked about Conkers on the show. It's definitely the best episode ever made. That was like season 1, episode 5. We talked about Conkers for a while.
Yeah.
That was the first episode where we just talked about everything else other than
Yeah, because that episode was bad.
it was a bad episode.
But speaking of bad episodes, my favorite episode was in season 2.
So like, is it your favorite for the rest of the series too?
I'm gonna say yes, but I don't remember much of season 3.
It's really setting me up to not expect much out of season 3 that way. Then
I mean, season 3 does have it does have the network, the TV show one, which is really good.
yeah, another Tim Doyle written one.
Yeah, which we may or may not have him on. I think that would be fun.
If you think it would be fun, we can talk to him about that.
Like if he actually watched it with us, I think that would be.
Wait, watched it with us live, or watch it then repeat it?
I mean, we could do that if you want.
I wonder how that would work. Like we haven't really tried that, and it would be weird to try it for the first time with a Hollywood guest.
I mean, all you have to do is like a screen share or something, right? Like right on here.
Well, Disney Plus has a watch thing, a thing where you can group watch something, and you can pause and play it at the same time if needed. Like, I think like the only thing with that is like the way people listen to podcasts is usually not cohesive with like commentary.
Yeah, there's a few podcasts I listen to where they do that, and it's kind of like most of the time I just skip those episodes because I'm like, I'm at work, like I don't have time to like sit there and watch it.
No, I think there's things we could do that it would be fun for a bonus, but I think it's more fun to review. The only thing that I think would be awkward about it is like step by step going through what happens in an episode that he wrote while he's sitting there.
I think it would just be, I think the one thing that would make it better would be it would just be like quick and easy. Like we wouldn't, like if he didn't have a lot of time, we could just be like 20 minutes and watch the episode.
That's true. We can like go through it, but
yeah,
no, I think it'd be fun to have him on it. I think because now I'm thinking about it more so. This was like 30 years ago for him. It's not, he's watching it almost as a different person, but still with some memories of it. Like,
yeah,
he's become all new cells multiple times since.
Also, I love how we just did total admin on this show.
Yeah.
We just discussed what we want to do.
Well, we want the fans to weigh in, so. But nobody called us while we were saying all that, so I guess we'll just go with it. That's how it works.
And the lines are open.
Yeah, the lines are. Oh wait, nope, they're all busy. I'm not. I'm a little phone shy. I'm not going to answer those.
But yeah. So my favorite episode this season was what sexual harassment.
See, I'm going to say a different episode just because I don't want to have the same favorite because it feels a little boring. I'm going to say some pretty strong contenders real quick. Like, I think I Never Ate for My Father was a really dumb episode, but it was a lot of fun. It was fun. Sense.
It was fun because it doesn't make any sense, and Woody's reaction to the episode.
Yeah, it was a fun one to record is a way to think about it too.
Sometimes the episode of the podcast is probably more entertaining than the episode itself.
Well, yeah, obviously we're not trying to break our arms by jerking ourselves off here, but I agree. I also agree with that.
Especially when we get like a bad episode, but the guest is like a good sport. Like,
yeah, like the episode we did, the Switched at Birth wasn't like that special of an episode, but Mike Brody was so fun to record it with because he was enjoying it anyway. He was like, this show is way more violent than I thought it would be. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, or we get the Aaron's repressed memories of
the labyrinth.
Same with Chris and his
repressed fruit memories.
Yeah,
we're wasting bananas.
What a weirdo.
I love that. Yeah, I think like as far as like the actual episode of the show, I think maybe I like Power Erupts a lot. I'd say ones where Robbie is well written, because sometimes they just forget that he has this whole character type and they just like, I guess it depends on the writer or the story they're trying to tell. Sometimes the kids, just their personalities don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, like that one was a good Robbie episode. Same with Nuts to War Part
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, it was an interesting one.
How he became radicalized in like a week.
You know, and I think When Food Goes Bad was a great episode, even though I think part of, not When Food Goes Bad, you know, I'm thinking Refrigerator Day, even though most of why I'm probably thinking that way is because it was a fun one to record.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was so dumb.
None of the plot made that much sense, but it was fun to talk about, I feel like.
Not even really the plot, just like the whole like ethos, like not the ethos, the like world building in it made no sense.
Yeah, it didn't. The refrigerator just dropped from the sky. I think this fits in with our concept that we had in that episode for a sequel being like they live in like a dome, like it's like we're observing them or something. Because somebody could have just thrown a refrigerator in, like they could be a simulation that we're like matrixing into.
Yeah, like they exist in the modern day, but they're just like
like that
Truman Show.
Yeah, like there was this book, Running Out of Time, we read in elementary school. I think it was elementary school, where it was like I would say like pioneer times, but maybe it was a little bit more recent than that. But then this like girl escapes from it and realizes it's like 1999 or whatever, and like she was living in like a glass dome that people would go to a museum and like watch them from like these little cameras and shit,
like
see what it's like to live in those times. But her parents had agreed to it, but like all the kids were born in it and didn't know it was fake.
Isn't that just the plot of The Village?
Well, yeah, but I think The Village, when The Village came out, I was like, they just straight up ripped this book off.
I mean, that's what I meant. But, yeah.
I've never watched The Village. I heard from a lot of people that if it wasn't advertised the way it was, it would have been better received, because it just wasn't a horror movie. It was more like, it just was weird the way they tried to build it up.
Yeah, it was definitely, it's his own fault, man. You make one movie like The Sixth Sense, and then when all your movies are like almost exactly the same, just with different like characters, it's just not gonna work, brother.
There is a thing about like M. Night Shyamalan's career that was really weird to me in the 90s. I feel like I've posted about it somewhere before, but I think it was the year that he had done what was it? The Sixth Sense? The Sixth Sense? I hate saying that. I think
His first movie.
Yeah, I believe that same year he also worked on Stuart Little. and one other movie that does not fit, like that makes no sense to me. I gotta figure it out real quick, because I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, he didn't want to be confined to the family entertainment of Stuart Little.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's Stuart Little, The Sixth Sense, those were in the same year. Which that is a really, just in and of itself, is a weird combination of like, what the fuck was going on with this guy that year. That's the realm of what he was like working.
Which one came out first? Do you know?
19. Well, I don't know month wise, because it doesn't say that on IMDb, and I'm not deep diving on that.
Because do you think maybe he got like the opportunity to do Stuart Little, and then he took the money and it was just like, I want to do Sixth Sense. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Because Sixth Sense, it looks like it came out
1999,
August 1999, August 2nd. Stuart Little came out December 17th, 1999. So Stuart Little was second.
Well, maybe he worked on Stuart Little before, and it was just like a longer like production.
It's possible, because he was like a writer, I'm pretty sure, for Stuart Little. It wasn't like he like directed, had to do like all the shit.
So what was the twist in Stuart Little? He's a mouse.
They should have had a twist the whole time. They were like, the humans were the mice and the Stuart was like, they just
yeah, they live in a glass dome. And
it's really funny, honestly.
Also, I was gonna say, also what you were explaining too was also kind of like that TV show, Westworld or whatever, except they're robots, not actual people.
Yeah, people have told me to watch the show quite a few times. I've never seen it still.
I as a rule, I might have said this before on the podcast, but I like hate edgy HBO like premium cable TV shows. Like I don't know why. I just hate them on principle.
Oh, the third movie that he worked on was She's All That in 1999. It took me a second to find it. He did like some rewrites for that one. So, writer for both Sixth Sense and Stuart Little, director for Sixth Sense, and then just a rewriter for She's All That uncredited.
Oh, okay.
How do people find out when it's uncredited? That means he went and told somebody at some point.
Yeah, that's the only way it works, right?
He's like, that scene where he's like kicking the hacky sack during the beat poetry thing? That was me.
With Usher.
No, Usher isn't in that, is he?
Yeah, isn't he? I swear to God, Usher's in that movie.
And She's All That?
Yeah.
Well,
it's like a bit part though. It's not like he's not like a main character.
He actually plays the main girl before she like becomes hot, even though he's hot as fuck.
Yeah, when she gets the makeover.
Yeah, he's the campus DJ. You're right. That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know a lot about Usher because I loved Usher when I was a kid.
I remember dancing to his songs at my middle school dances with my middle school girlfriend.
Yeah.
With my middle school girlfriend who went to Harvard Law and is like trying to be a justice or something.
Is that the one that her parents hated you?
No, this is the one. Her parents didn't know me. When I'd called her house, I had to pretend I was a girl named Brenda because she wasn't allowed to talk to boys.
Brenda.
So I'd call and I'm like, "Hi, is Courtney there?"
How gender dysphoric.
My name's Brenda. That was the closest. Like, I don't know why in my mind it had to be close to Ben. Like, it doesn't make sense. I could have been any girl name in the world. I was like, Brenda.
Brenda.
I think I got the name. I feel like that's the girl's name in Scary Movie, like her friend. I think that's why I chose that name, is because it's a scary movie.
I'm surprised you didn't,
Yeah, it's Regina Hall's character in Scary Movie. I was like, that's me. If I was gonna be a girl, that's who I'd pick.
Oh, all right.
That's
I'm
so
sorry,
goofy.
Ben. I gotta
Let the dogs out, or you gotta pee.
I gotta pee. No, the dogs just happens to be barking.
We'll be back with more Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale, here on PBS.
Hey there, friends, enemies. It's your old friend / enemy, Zach, producer of Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale, and co-host of Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. If you like what you're hearing, please check out Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach for more fun podcast times. Love you, bye!
Welcome back to the podcast. We were talking about Stuart Little or some shit like that.
Yeah, we were talking about the episode M. Night Shyamalan directed of Dinosaur.
Which he actually directed the Switched at Birth episode.
That was the twist. It's twisted.
The twist is that nothing mattered at the end of that episode. They just pretended it never happened.
No, but I will say about that episode though, it did have one of my favorite ancillary characters, which is Aubrey Molehill.
A true king.
He's the only nice person I think in the history of the show.
They should bring him back. That'd be great.
Besides, Monica's nice.
Yeah, Monica's nice too.
Yeah.
I
feel like she should be his mother.
Yeah, she should have adopted him.
Yeah.
Gus doesn't deserve him.
Mm-mm.
So that's probably, so out of like So is Aubrey your favorite character? Because that's the next thing we were going to talk about is our favorite character.
That's
so
why I
far.
brought it up, Ben. That was my segue.
That's a good ass segue.
I'm good. Good ass Subway.
I was trying to order Subway while you were gone, and the website didn't work. It's on my mind. That's what they should be called now instead of segways. They're subways because you take one to get to another location.
Segway,
which Paul Blart does with segways, I guess.
There's a running joke. I wish we could have brought it up with Matthew, but on one of his other podcasts, he came to this revelation on the air about how he didn't know how to spell Segway. And he thought you like spell it like the vehicle, not like the other way. It's like
I swear that came up on our podcast with someone too.
Was it Matt? It might have been Matthew.
I don't think it was Matthew. It could have been. I think it was more recent than that. But yeah, I guess or we talked about in the group chat or something like that. Maybe you were inspired by Matthew talking about it.
Yeah, because it comes up a lot on his other podcast.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like SEGUE, something like that, with like an accent somewhere or something like that. But it's more funny to say it like the vehicle, like obviously.
Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway.
Paul Blart 3. So that's a good favorite character. I say Monica is probably my favorite character. There's really, I mean, like, they don't do a lot of good things with most of the characters, so it's hard to have like I guess like Spike is a funny character too. Like I enjoy like episodes of Spike because he's really dumb in like a good way, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
and Ethel.
Yeah, Ethel is another one that's inconsistent is all get out. Like
yeah, she goes back and forth of like
on her chair.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes the writing, it's just like the episode with the fashion one where Fran says she's old and helpless and she's like, yeah. I'm like, that's just like, that's not how people interact. It's just it's inconsistent. Like she wouldn't go like, she would hate to be called old and helpless. Like that's not her style.
Yeah, and then when Earl runs for chief elder, where like you think she would revel in the fact that he embarrassed himself on television, but then she's just like, oh no, we gotta move. Like it's like, shouldn't you be happy?
Yeah. It's sometimes you just get the idea that they don't exactly they're not super loyal to the characters at all times.
Like you said, it's just whoever writes or directs it. Like
too many cucks in the kitchen. But as far as voice actors go, other than the main characters, guest voice actors so far, I'd say like Jason Alexander has done the most good work on it.
He like knocks it. I feel like he really wanted to be a part of the show or something. Like considering how much he came back. Like I mean, besides Tim Curry, but
yeah, he never just sounded straight up like himself either. Like he did the characters. He was good. Like I think he did great. Tim Curry, he did really good in the first episode. I thought it was as bad as the pterodactyl.
If he didn't even realize it was Tim Curry.
That's true, but it was just because it was like it sounded like a voice anyone could have done. I felt like it was just like introducing. Like it sounded kind of like Tim Doyle doing the the Chow the Magnificent.
Yeah.
Chow the Ferocious. Chow the Delicious, if you will.
Yeah, I feel like Jason Alexander definitely hit it out the park.
Who do you think the worst guest voice actor? Well, technically not even a guest, but doing an ancillary character would be Roy Hess's guy. I forget the guy's name at the top of my head, but him voicing the leader of the pack.
Oh God, yeah, I hated it. The stupid accent. That made no sense.
Austrian accent mixed with like sometimes there wasn't an accent, like, but it was just bad. It's like you can't tell what he was going for.
Yeah, like keep it consistent, like Spike.
It reminds me of like watching like Perks of Being a Wallflower, Emma Watson slipping in and out of her British accent on accident. It's so bad. Like I was like, just make her character British. You changed enough about the book. It doesn't matter. Like quit making her do this accent. She doesn't know how to talk like an American. Like That's normal. I can't do a good British accent. I think I can, but if a British person heard me, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" They'd be like, watch her, Harry."
Well, you're a straight tosser.
Straight tosser. I'm a picker. I'm a grinner. I'm a straight tosser.
I listen to too much of Matt's podcast. That's why I get all the slang and stuff like that.
Well, I can do the slang. Like, I'm not chav or a slag or anything. I keep up.
Pisser. A diddler though is something that's come into my full vocabulary.
That would come into my vocabulary from It's Always Sunny when Danny DeVito says it all.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I didn't even think about that.
They're gonna think you're a diddler. There's a lot. Maybe Danny DeVito listens to a lot of their podcasts. This is a lot of like Botchamania and like
call me the trash man. Yeah, and then there's I
was gonna say Danny DeVito was a great voice, I guess, but I was like, no, that was Space Jam that I watched last week, where he's the head of the aliens.
Okay, so when I was a kid in Space Jam, when
you
Bill
were in
Murray,
Space Jam.
No, I mean like watching it. Sorry, watching it. Well, like the new one, everyone's in that one, so I might be in that one.
You might be. You just forget.
When Bill Murray shows up, and then like Danny DeVito's character is just like, I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture. And like, I remember as a kid, I was like, oh shit, it's Dan Aykroyd. And then my cousin Ryan, who's slightly older than me, was just like, no, that's the joke, Tim. It's not, it's Bill Murray.
That's pretty funny.
I get my Ghostbusters confused all the time.
The whole time I was watching Space Jam last week, which was at like 4 a.m., I was just like, the whole time I was like, I know Bill Murray's in this movie, but why? Like, I was waiting for him to show up, and I was like, how do they work that into the fiction? I'm like, oh, they barely do. They don't make it make sense.
He's just friends with Michael Jordan. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And Newman's in that movie too.
Yeah, but he has a whole character. Like, his character makes sense. Like,
Bill Murray is just Bill Murray.
Yeah.
But to be fair, so is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is just Michael Jordan.
Until his arm stretches a million feet, then he's like Looney Tune Michael Jordan.
But Newman is not Newman. Like, he's not the actor. Wade Knight.
Wade Knight.
Yeah,
right? Something like that.
He's someone totally different.
He's someone totally different. I forget his name in the movie too. I think he's like Stan or something like that.
We watched that movie so much when I was a kid.
Oh, I had like, I feel like I remember there being like a gold coin or something that came with like the VHS when I got it that had like Space Jam characters on it, which I thought was really cool. I feel like it was a fake gold coin, but I could be wrong about what it was.
It's possible.
It reminds me of like the gold Pokemon cards from like Burger King or McDonald's. I don't remember which.
Yeah, that's called crypto. That's crypto. That's an original crypto
NFT.
I have one. I have the Pikachu and the Poliwhirl one.
That's amazing. I wish I would have saved those things. I also had like the Electabuzz that I got from going to see Pokemon in theaters. They gave out cards to kids. That's so cool. It's so close to you that you can pull it up.
Podcast people can't see this, but yeah, this is
the gold Pokemon card. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and then I have here's the Poliwhirl, which is such a random, like, it's like, okay, you got Pikachu, right?
Yeah,
everyone knows Pikachu. And then, hey kids, remember Poliwhirl? the second evolution.
I think it's important to what's the guy's name who designed Pokemon? I can't remember.
Ken. I can't say his last name correctly, but his first name's Ken.
Yeah, I feel like Poliwhirl, he talks about being like one of the first ones he designed because the whole basis was bug collecting as a kid and looking at tadpoles in the pond. And like, so that was like the first one. I think before it was called Pokemon in his head, he like had drawn that character. And then I think what was Rhydon was the first one he actually made.
Yeah, I'm trying to look on here if it has, because on the real Pokemon cards, each artist is credited.
Oh, really?
Not on these. Not on these gold ones.
Well, I think even like the artist of the card is different from the concept of the Pokemon character sometimes too, though, right? Like
yeah, like I feel like he did like the actual illustrations. So like this picture of Poliwhirl might be different than the one that's in like the guidebook, like the official guidebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pokemon, what a thing that we've never talked about on the show before.
The new Pokemon Snap came out yesterday.
Oh, it's out now?
Yeah.
I tried replaying the old one. It's hard to play.
It's got a pretty steep, like it can be, it's kind of like Yoshi's Story. It could either be the easiest game you ever played or the fucking hardest game you ever played.
Yeah. I remember as a kid I had a lot of trouble with it, and then like my friend's older brother was like so good at it, like he kept getting all like the perfect. He's like, no, you gotta do this, and then the Gyarados will come out and you gotta do this. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I couldn't understand anything he was doing, and it never worked for me.
You have to bully the Magikarp.
Yeah.
to Gyarados.
I feel like that was back in the time where everybody had like game guides and shit in their house that they got from, because like I feel like that's the only way you knew that kind of stuff, because you couldn't really look it up in the same way that you can now.
Yeah, either the guide or at least like a subscription to Nintendo Power magazine.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I remember I'd get those cheat books like sometimes from game stores where you'd go to the back and they'd have a list of cheats for like whatever games were popular at the time.
I loved the official strategy guides.
Mm-hmm.
I have one over. I can't reach this one, but I have one for. I have like the official gold and silver one.
That's so cool. I was watching a video. Somebody on YouTube was playing RuneScape this year using a strategy guide from like 15 years ago for the game. So a lot of it's just like not relevant anymore.
It's just like
really interesting.
It's just like GameFAQs.com.
Yeah, exactly.
I still go there from time to time, depending on like what I'm playing. Like if I'm playing like a Nintendo 64 game,
yep,
and I'll get stuck. I'll be like, fuck, how do I beat this GoldenEye level?
I remember as a kid for cheats, I always used CheatCC and supercheats.com. And then like, yeah, GameFAQs and then like IGN would have like actual walkthroughs and stuff. For Pokemon, I always use like Cerebi gave me a lot of information, and like I think it was like Pokedream or something like that.
I use Bulbapedia.
Bulbapedia is like for like just learning everything. Like do they have walkthroughs too on Bulbapedia?
No, I've never used walkthroughs. I just would use it for like mostly team building, like trying to figure out what moves this Pokemon can learn or what it learns by leveling up and stuff like that. Sometimes I have to look it up sometimes if it's like a newer Pokemon game and I'm like, you can't guess what type that Pokemon is just by looking at it. You're just like, oh fuck, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, that's why I use Cerebi for it, specifically that. But it also does have like, if I got confused at something in the game or I'm supposed to have an item I don't have yet, I can pull that up and it'll be like, you were supposed to do this. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. But I mean, the games are so cohesive. You know, mostly needing a walkthrough seems a little wild.
Especially the newer ones, because they're all made for like toddlers.
Yeah, they just walk you into everything. Like every 20 feet, you run back into your team or whatever, someone who's going to tell you what to do. Like,
and then you get into battle, and it's like this move is effective against this Pokemon, but this move isn't. You're like, oh my god, is this for 5-year-olds? Yes, it is.
Yes, you're playing Pokemon. So we talked about the best voice actor so far in the series. What job would you want to have if you worked on the show Dinosaurs? Not inside the series, that's the next question. But what job, if you were to work on the show, what job would you have wanted to do? Or what do you think you would have been good at, if that's a different question even?
Oh no. I think being the off-screen puppeteer would be fun.
Yeah, I think being a puppeteer would be great.
I think being in the suit would not be fun.
I don't think it would be fun. I don't think I'd fit in any of the suits either. I'm definitely bigger than people that were worked on. But if they wanted to have like a really big dinosaur, I would be a go-to person for that suit.
You could be Gary.
Yeah, I could be Gary.
Actual Gary.
Yeah. Actual size Gary.
Not Roy Head.
Not Roy Head. Ceiling.
Yeah.
It's like I installed this moonroof in my house and there's just fucking Roy's head out there all the time. I think writing would be a fun thing to do for the show. Obviously, that's like
well, we're lining ourselves up for that job anyway.
that's what we're trying to do here. But yeah, I would also just like thinking about anything Henson. Like I would fucking I'd go get people coffee. I'd do anything to be on that set. Like it would just be so cool.
Yeah, just to be there would be like, it's cool that Gene got to go and just like watch them film it.
I would also, there's things I would want to do that I don't have the skills for, but I'd learn like building parts of costumes or props. Like I love that kind of like set design shit. Is cool as fuck. I've just never done it. Prop design specifically, I would love to design like the fake books and the fake stuff that they have throughout it, because I love jokes like that.
Yeah, you should have you could put a fake VHS tape in the background of Seinfeld, but it's just a couple of episodes.
It's just not a full season. Just a couple of episodes.
It's just the soup. It's just the soup Nazi episode.
I was gonna say no season for you.
Yeah. That definitely defines Seinfeld, though. No seasoning.
Yeah. Just salt and pepper, baby. So what job would you want to have if you were inside the world of dinosaurs?
I think the job wizard would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Or the elder who named the children.
Oh, that'd be fun as fuck. I'd love to just name a bunch of kids. And then if you're just like having an off day, you'd be like, the next 20 are Joshua, I'm leaving.
And then they all get to go fight in a field.
Yeah. By the Joshua tree. And then to determine who gets to be the best baby.
You're all Mikes.
If anybody complains, they're an Ike. That's it.
And no Michaels. Mike.
I think that I wouldn't want to be a tree pusher. It sounds a little bit rough. I work with my hands a lot, so I could do it, but I feel bad about it.
Yeah, I already in my actual job, I already deal with enough cardboard that's probably destroying the earth. I couldn't justify just straight up pushing the tree down.
Yeah. I mean, I work for a company that supports robots in the Noid, so I feel pretty guilty all the time. That's some war crime shit.
Yeah. You got some drones dropping pizza.
I feel like a drone anyway. An Obama drone. With an Obama phone.
With Obamacare.
not the Obama. And then I would say that a job that would be fun to have in the world would be I'd work at Cave Mart. It seems like they don't have much going on. They don't even do refunds or anything until recently. It seems like an easy job. You can just make up shit day to day because nobody knows how the world works yet.
Exactly. It's like what? A return policy? What are you talking about?
You're just like blue light special. They're like, what's that mean? It's like, you have to give me $10. They don't know.
It's like, oh, you want to give us this stuff back? Okay.
What another question I have about it would be, what movie spinoffs could you see for different characters in this?
I want to see. I already know.
Oh, perfect.
Say, Turtlepuss and A Day in the Life in Turtlepuss. Like how many jobs he has.
Maybe he's like Seth Rogen at the beginning of Pineapple Express, where his job is to serve people, and that's why he's always in different costumes. But we don't see that part of it. He just gets interacted with by people. Like, but then a second later, he's like, "Are you Earl Sinclair?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, you've been served.
Like I would just love to see him like he clocks into his like morning job, and then he has to run to go to his next job.
He's like a fucking shitty Mrs. Doubtfire that has to overdo it. Like,
and then his wife is cheating on him with Richfield because he's at work all the time.
Yeah, that's why it's happening. He's like, yeah, my wife calls him honey. My kids call him daddy. Like, I was just James Bond 2 scenes ago. I can't, or Odd Job 2 scenes ago.
Yeah, Odd Job. Yeah,
keep up with this.
He was an assassin.
Who would be like a good character? Like, this is referencing the new podcast from our producer Zach, Keystone Copycats. Who would be a good character to be like the protagonist in like a Groundhog Day time loop situation? Because I feel like Earl would never get out of it. Roy would probably never get out of it either.
Yeah.
Roy wouldn't notice for a long time, is what I think too.
You'd be like, why is everybody acting so weird?
He probably thinks people say the same things regularly as it is. Like, he doesn't really put it together. He's just like, I'm getting really good at life. I know what people are gonna say. Whereas I feel like Robbie would be one that would actually suss it. Like, that would be like in the movie Palm Springs, where the one of the characters stuck in the time loop finds a scientific way to get out of it. That would be like Robbie's approach to it.
Yeah, he learned how to use natural resources to generate energy. So
exactly,
he's pretty from a Jello molder or whatever the fuck that was. A jelly.
It was Jello. It was Jello Biafra.
Duh.
Yeah, it was a thing that doesn't exist. A dome that went on a pot to make jelly. It was weird.
Yeah, a pot dome.
Pot dome, biodome, starring Robbie Sinclair. I think that like the thing is that comes up in a lot of those movies is it's usually a character who's kind of a dick who has to like learn a lesson, and I don't know, like Richfield wouldn't learn. Like, its thing is with dinosaurs, a lot of them you get the idea that they'll never have like that Christmas Carol like turnaround with their personality.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like they'll like I could see like they could like do it with Charlene in a way because there's things she could learn, but like they'd have to also make her character a little bit worse at the beginning of it for it to work.
Yeah, I mean, we're still not there, but in the last episode, I think Earl finally like deals with the shit he's done in his life, but
that's good.
We're not there yet.
Some redemption.
But Richfield definitely does not care, like all the way to the bitter end. Yeah.
Who do you think would work best as like the protagonist in a Die Hard type action film? Because it's like the everyday man action film. Because that's going to be season 2 of Keystone Copycat, so that's why I thought about that.
Well, Earl's a coward.
Yeah, he is a coward. You don't get the idea, like, it's not like John McClane where you get the idea that he was kind of a badass to begin with, just like not in that situation before.
No, I don't think. Maybe Gary.
maybe Turtle Puss. He's gone through some shit. Like,
Fran.
Yeah, Fran could do it. Monica could do it, but she, like, imagine Monica trying to go through like ducks in a building, like as a TV dinner.
she would reach the top of she could like get the top of the building.
That's true. Just if they shot it, it'd just be her head going through, like her neck going through different scenarios and then coming back out, and like.
But she could only go so far.
Yeah.
She's not a snake.
When you can only go so far, but so far isn't far enough. Starring Monica the Vertebrae. Long neck.
Long necks, baby. And Roy's useless in that situation because his arms are so tiny.
Yeah. I guess maybe dinosaurs would be better suited for like a heist film where they all are needed for their different qualities. They have to like they have to like do a thing where they have to like break into Richfield's house to steal like something that like is going to like ruin the world. That would be a good heist film for them.
They could call it Ocean's 1 because it's all one giant supercontinent, so there's not multiple
only
oceans.
one ocean. I'll call up Clooney later and see if he's down.
And then for me, tell him he's an asshole.
I'll let him know. I'll let him know that we don't want his iPod Nano wedding gifts or any. I don't know what he's up to.
We don't want his fucking Nespresso machines.
So I would say, I try to think of a character that would deserve their own specific movie spinoff more than other characters, and it's kind of hard. Roy could be put in a lot of situations that would be entertaining. As like a Mr. Bean almost. Like I could see him being like somebody who just kind of fumbles around in the world. Like maybe like the Jerk type situation where he's not aware of things that he's involved in, like getting shot at type thing, but it's not relevant to him because he's not paying attention.
Yeah, just like in Nuts to War where their mission is to get Robbie home, but his whole concern is like his dress and everything like that.
Yeah, and their next act and whether to add another person or dinosaur or not. I mean, it makes sense.
I could see Richfield in a They could just do the Christmas Carol with Richfield.
With Richfield. Yeah, they should have done that parody, and then he doesn't learn anything. It would have been the joke for him. Like,
Yeah, he just like eats Tiny Tim.
yeah. What's that movie with Alec Baldwin about coffee is for closers?
Oh, Glengarry, Glen Ross.
Yeah, that could be I was gonna say Glengarry Glenn Close. So that's not it.
That's the reboot, the gender swap reboot with the boss lady, the mean boss lady.
Yeah, it's Glenn Close, and she's like, Dalmatians are for closers. Yeah, I think that I'm sure if they did a movie, it would be all the characters, but I always wonder, like, I don't know what plot they would have to go with that would make sense, other than we've talked about before for a sequel, like concepts like they're unfrozen because they're discovered, and it's like, or their DNA is recreated like Jurassic Park style.
Yeah,
I think it could be fun.
Yeah, just with less smartphone jokes.
Yeah, I was gonna say none of the tropes of the way that it's never funny. Like, that trope is dumb.
It's so bad.
Like, it's like, oh, what would Fred Flintstone think of like iPhones? Like, fuck you. Like, it's not funny. There's already people like that in real life that think those things about us.
Exactly.
We have boomers.
And they're probably not even like in their 50s.
Yeah.
60s.
Neo-Luddites, or late 30s Neo-Luddites.
Someone in West Virginia.
It's always funny when somebody our age acts like technology doesn't make sense at all to them, and I'm just like, you grew up at the same time as us. Like, they're like, I don't even know how to use a computer, and it's like, not somebody who has an excuse for that. It's just somebody who wants to say that because they also want to say they don't want a TV.
It's just like, but that is how I feel sometimes, because like I guess because of how old I am, I was such like an MS Paint kid that like Photoshop like blows my mind. Like, I don't even understand.
Photoshop's too hard. Photoshop's
I don't
too
even
hard.
know. I don't even know how to use it.
I've tried. I've been like, it's been a thing where I've wanted to learn it so many times, and I've like looked up tutorials, and I can't do it. I think part of the issue is you have to have a project already in mind when you look up a tutorial, and I'm usually just like starting from scratch, like, how do I learn to do things? And
I want to make a flyer for my show.
I'm just like, I think MS Paint there's limitations that get really annoying, but it's so accessible. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so shitty too. But I guess if you actually like mastered it, you could probably make cool shit on it.
Yeah, I've seen people do like Mona Lisa and shit like that on MS Paint, which is wild. There's certain things that just literally can't do. Like, you can't like use it to automatically like grab something and remove it from the background. Like, you have to, I like zoom all the way in and manually like cut the pixels out when I'm
yeah, that's what I used to do.
But new Microsoft computers come with Paint 3D as well, which has the Magic Select feature built into it. As easy to use as MS Paint would be. You just click it and you outline it with a square, and then it automatically selects what it thinks you're trying to grab, and it's perfect. So you never have to learn Photoshop.
But you're right. It is like I don't even own a TV.
Yeah. Although once you get to a certain amount younger than us, it makes sense that they don't know how to use computers that well, because it's becoming more obsolete, like, to not just have a phone in your hand.
Exactly. It's either a phone or a tablet. Like, yeah, they can just go straight to YouTube.
I think the only thing that changed that recently is all the kids having to like do school from home. Then a lot of them had to learn how to use laptops, and that's interesting.
Yeah. And like, I don't know what they do, like Google Docs or something. I don't know.
It's gonna Google Classroom, Google Docs. Once people get older, I feel like older people deal with this all the time, where there's a new technology that they never learned, and then it's obsolete before they ever learned it. And like, that's probably like what laptops were for a lot of older people. Like, now, like, a lot of people just don't own a computer anymore because they have a phone, and they're just like, I never figured that shit out. I was right. I didn't have to learn it.
It's like cursive.
Yeah, it's
At
like
least when I was a kid. Yeah.
every year they were just like, you're gonna need it all. The only time you're gonna like, you're always gonna write in cursive next year. Then you get the next year, and the only time you ever use it is when the teacher's telling you that same thing about how you have to learn it because you'll always use it.
Exactly.
But because nobody wants to read cursive, like because everyone's bad at it and it looks terrible. It's only for yourself, and then you don't need that anymore. You just type or you shorthand. Like it's stupid.
Yeah, it's just your signature that just looks like scribble anyway.
My signature, I have no specific signature. I just scribble, or I do 666 if it's like one of the electronic ones.
I literally do. It looks like a lightning bolt. Like it's just like I go like voom, voom. There's like I don't even try.
I remember one Halloween, my sister signed hers as Lady Gaga all night and she ended up getting a call from her credit card company. It's like, that's ridiculous. I've done different names almost every time my whole life. I've never.
What's that like? It's like, hello, is this Lady Gaga
speaking? Hold on, I can't hear you over my meat suit.
Why does she have that accent?
She's doing an art thing. I don't even know what accent I used.
It's not just pop music, Ben. It's pop art music.
Pop tart music, my favorite kind. So I think the last question I want to ask about the show before we start wrapping this up real quick is, like, we kind of talked about this beforehand. Like, do you think the show gets better over time? Like, does season 3 overall, like, I know that your favorite episodes in season 2, but do you think there might be more good episodes per bad episodes as it goes?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it gets. I think because I feel like by season 3 they're probably at the height of the popularity.
Yeah. So the stakes are higher. They have to actually deliver good episodes.
Yeah, I mean, like the first episode, Brian Henson directs himself, so
that's true.
That's pretty serious.
That's pretty serious. Right when we entered this call, I was reading a foreword by Brian Henson for this Muppets book I was reading. So that was pretty interesting. I'm gonna learn about how they made all the Muppet shows.
I saw something today on Twitter. I hope they put it on soon, but it was a character from Muppets Tonight, which I hope they put on Disney Plus soon.
Yeah.
Like did you ever watch that as a kid?
Yeah.
And there was a Real World skit that I didn't know about. And there's a character on it who's like this like goth lesbian chick who has like purple hair and like facial piercings.
That's amazing.
It looks, I don't remember it at all from watching Muppets Tonight, but yeah,
I love that.
I hope they put it up soon. Plus that's where we get the Talking Heads parody with Kermit.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not a parody. It's the actual song.
Yeah, it's like the actual song, but it's like a video parody.
Yeah. That's where that's from.
That video is great. Something I didn't realize existed until like months ago or whenever I told you about finding it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And plus there's like an episode with Prince, but it's when Prince was a symbol. So they make that joke constantly. Like they're just like, hey, and then they show this. Like it's very interesting.
That's pretty topical humor.
Very.
The artist formerly known as Prince. That's one thing I was also gonna say after. So season 3 gets better. That's good information for me because I haven't watched it yet. Other than I've seen season 3 episode 1, which isn't that great. I gotta say, the one Brian Henson did direct. But I would also say the directing and the art, like all that part of it, like the art direction, everything is amazing for it. That's great. The topic, which is about potty training baby, is just not that great.
Oh, okay. I know what episode that is.
Yeah, but there's a lot of really cool elements to it. There's also some cool, like, weird choices for voice actors in it. So it's like there's a couple like guest voices for that one that I like. I don't think have been on the show before. So that will be cool because there's like the baby finds like there's like vultures or something. I don't remember what it is out in the woods.
He just Oh yeah, the baby birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I remember because the whole
Well,
plot. We'll get into it when we watch it, but the whole plot is that baby's potty training, and then baby disappears, but Earl thinks he like got sucked down in the toilet.
Yeah. So yeah, we will get into that. Watch that episode before next week so we can talk about it with you. And yeah, I mean, like the main, like there's like a couple random voices of people I don't really know that well. The main thing is Richard Simmons is in that episode.
That's awesome.
Voicing himself. It says Richard Simmons as himself, but a dinosaur. Like, I assume as a dinosaur. I actually don't remember that happening, and I saw it in the trivia. I was like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, isn't there like a?
I'm sure it's a TV gag.
There's a gag. There's a gag with like Fran and Monica and them. They're all like in the gear.
Oh,
like,
you know what? That is what the scene is. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, we'll get
Monica has like a sweatband on, but she just has like a weight in her mouth because she can't like jazzercise.
Spoiler alert: she has to hold the weight in her mouth, just like me. So that's something to look forward to next week. Thank you for joining us today on May Day, International Workers' Day. But this is going to be a week later for you, so you remember back when it was May Day, right?
Yeah, here we are working on May Day.
It's true. It's fuck the system, man.
Honestly, one time I didn't even really know this was a thing. Like I didn't know May Day was a thing, and one time on tour, we played in Tallahassee. Actually, I think that was the first time we played. Bree like played with us like as Cooper. I think it's the first time we saw Cooper. We played at Tallahassee, and the next morning I was so excited because we were gonna go to this really good like vegan like restaurant, and the next day for like brunch. I was so excited, and like we drove all the way out there, and then like I saw on the sign is like we're closed to observe May Day. I was like, what the fuck is May Day? I was so mad. I was like, no, I want gorilla biscuits and gravy.
And that's when you vowed to become a capitalist for the rest.
Yeah, that's when I went to Walmart immediately after, and I said, this is my favorite place.
Where's the Waltons? Sign me up. That's their name. I'm one of you now.
I stretch my hand out. Capitalism, please.
Money, please. So thanks for joining us, and I hope you had a great first week of the month. You know, May is a great month if you're, I guess, a Taurus or something. Is that's it? Because Aries was you, right?
Yeah,
you're an Aries, which I now own boxer briefs that are Aries style because I didn't realize it was a zodiac thing. I just thought the Rams were cool looking.
Thank you. That's for me.
Yeah, that's my shirt. Whenever I wear them, I'm just like, these are my Tim underwears. This is where I keep my Tim bits. But yeah, thanks for joining us for this bonus episode. Thanks for joining us for the past 2 fucking seasons of the show that have taken us a year to put out.
Yeah. And thanks for hanging out with us for like a year, even though we're not at 52 episodes yet. You know?
Yeah, once we get to 52 episodes, we'll probably miss it. Just like we missed the 30-year anniversary of Dinosaurs. We just blew right past it.
Yeah, it was
unobserved.
It was earlier this week.
Yeah. So happy 30 years of Dinosaurs as well.
Yep.
And next week, like we said, we're going to do Nature Calls season 3, episode 1 of Dinosaurs. So directed by Brian Henson. So join us for that. And then I would like to thank Zachary George for editing our podcast. You can check out his band Waterson on Spotify and Bandcamp. You can check out his podcast Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach anywhere you get podcasts.
Yes, and I think it's pretty much everywhere except for Apple right now.
Yeah, there's like some issue with that, and I was gonna review it on that, or I feel like I saw it on Apple still. There was an issue with Spotify and it not working on that too.
I think Zach said that only the preview episode got uploaded to Apple or something like that.
Not just Spotify. That's all I saw on there too.
Okay.
I was listening to it or I don't remember. One of the apps it didn't work correctly. I think Spotify does work now. By
Either
the time this is
way-
out, I'm sure it all works.
Yeah, either way, it'll be in there and check
That's our
it out.
stepsister podcast.
I've only heard the first episode, and that was like a rough version of it, but it's very fun.
Yeah, I recommend. I've listened to all of it. I write the descriptions for the episodes, so I've been listening to all of it to get a good deal with that.
And if you liked last week's episode with Zach and Chris,
the week before last now.
yeah, you'll enjoy their show.
Yeah, and then thanks to Jared from Scotty Network for our theme song. You can check out their new album by We Are the Union, a band they're in. Was Ordinary Life? I think is that out everywhere yet? It probably will. When does it come out? Will it be out by the time this episode's out?
I don't know. You want me to check?
Sure, because at this point you can check out like the music video for Morbid Obsessions, and they're working on a couple more music videos at this time. Because in a few weeks we're gonna have our friend Brent Friedman from We're the Union is gonna join us for an episode, so we'll definitely be promoting it then.
Yeah, I feel like the record is still up for pre-order, and the first single came out last week,
and
then the record is for pre-order still, and the record probably comes out soon. I
know their first pressing brand sold out, right?
Yeah, and
they had to make a second press.
The second one is almost out too.
That's crazy. That's so cool. Yeah. I'm proud of them. They're doing great. And then thanks to Amy Shenanigans for doing the artwork for our logo. We appreciate it. You can check them out on Instagram at Amy Shenanigans.
Yeah. And also, if you want to try and get one of those pre-orders, by the way, just check out Bad Time Records. That's where the pre-order is.
You can also... What?
I was going to say, same with the Joystick record we talked about.
Yeah, and we're also going to have the singer Duck from Joystick on an episode coming up soon too, so that'll be fun. So yeah, get up on the ska. You can get that book In Defense of Ska that's coming out soon too. That's a pre-order option as well.
This is pretty cool. I'm like on the website right now and looking at all the bundles and stuff. They got some pretty cool stuff.
That's exciting. We're just
I'm sorry.
We're the number one advertisers for random ska music coming out this year.
All I'm looking for is when the album actually comes out, but there's no information.
That's fine. It'll come out. You can just keep Googling it. You should get into We're the Union. Go listen to Who We Are.
I got it. According to the website, around June 21st is when cool. Your record will ship.
So around the first day of summer, it's gonna hit it.
Yeah.
It's June 21st, and this one was the worst.
Oh, look, they got Scott. Speaking of Real Big Fish, they got Scott on the record.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. See, Scott's my favorite member of Real Big Fish. I really liked Littlest Man Band that he was the front for.
Yeah, he's credited.
Although he kind of sounds like Jack Black a little bit, but if Jack Black was like an amazing singer.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Anyway.
We got stuck on that for a second. And we'd also if you want to email us at sinclaritypodcast@gmail.com or tweet at us or DM us on Instagram at A Dinosaur's Tale. Talk to us about whatever. You can talk to us about the show Dinosaurs. You can talk to us about the podcast. You can talk to us about like music or art that you're putting out or promoting, and we'll talk about that for longer than we need to.
Yeah. And you should also tweet at the members of Operation Ivy, but they don't have any social media except for Tim Armstrong. Get them to reunite as Laura Jane Grace and Mike Park have got on the bandwagon to try and reunite Operation Ivy.
That's funny. Yeah. So tweet at us if you want them to reunite. We'll talk to them about it directly.
Yeah, I guess
I'll talk to my old friend Jesse Michaels about it.
Yeah, Ben's best friend Jesse Michaels.
I'm sure the beef is squashed by this point. By that I mean he probably doesn't remember it and I remember it, and that's it.
I don't think he remembers you.
Yeah, so I mean, he remembers me for sure. Just probably not that we argued that one time and he called me an asshole and a Maoist. Yeah, thanks for joining us. And like I said, you message us about whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the show. We'll talk back to you. We'll be there for you, babies, Arts and Clarity babies. And specifically, thanks to listeners Lauren, Katie, Issa, Cass, Max, Julio, Joshua Young, Sean McCabe, Ryan, Jen, Amy. And if I left you out, just tweet at us and I'll mention you another time. And I'll do a freestyle about you. Just tell me your name and some of your special interests. I'll give you 4 bars. And Tim will give you 8.
Fuck y'all. Y'all get half a bar.
Half a bar. Tim doesn't do bars. He's straight edge.
That's right.
And, so yeah, thanks for joining us here at Sinclarity, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Enjoy your extinction.